Alrighty, well, welcome everybody. My name is Yvonne Owen. I work with Olympic Community of Health, and I am a community program specialist. Today, I will be talking about our current funding opportunity around training for our community-based workforce. What I'd like to do today is go ahead and share um, our scope of work and do a nice little walkthrough of what that looks like. That'll talk about why we're doing this work, timelines, what we're expecting from our applications, and what type of training we are looking for our community-based workers. Um, like I mentioned before I started recording, what I'd like to do is just spend a couple of minutes walking through this scope of work. And then if we have any questions afterwards, I'll ask that we wait till I finish walking through the scope of work before we get into questions. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Give me just a moment. Let me push share. Alrighty. And then Stephanie, do you mind just letting me know if you can see my screen?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it just fine. Thank you.
Fabulous. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I picked the right screen.
Yep.
Awesome. So for this scope of work, we are looking for facilitators to contract with to host training. So our purpose and overview, Olympic Community of Health is seeking contractors with qualified training vendors to deliver targeted job readiness and career coaching trainings for the Olympic Connect community-based workforce. And I'll get into what that term means in just a little bit. We're looking for support with our Clallam and Jefferson County, supporting prime age employment groups. And again, I'll give that definition in just a moment. We're looking for folks that can do specific trainings to help our clients get good job attainment. So we're looking to host quarterly trainings throughout 2026 and 2027, and we'll focus on practical skills, including coaching for job readiness, financial literacy, resume building, interview readiness that will ultimately benefit PAG clients and good job attainment. So community-based workforce, this is a broad term that we use for the on-the-ground workforce dedicated to connecting people to care and resources. So this workforce has many different names. They might go by community health workers, case managers, care coordinators, outreach coordinators, peer navigators, lots of different names. So throughout this time, you'll hear me say community-based workforce or worker, and that's what I'm referring to. For a prime age employment group, you'll hear me say the word PEG, and this is defined as people between the ages of 25 and 54 who are unemployed or underemployed and seeking employment. So essentially, we have community-based workers or CBWs that are supporting folks getting into work. And so we've heard a lot from them that they were looking for more support in different areas to like strengthen their tool belt. So the trainings that we're seeking vendors for are going to help them find the clients that they're supporting have better job attainment. This is just a little, I'm not going to go line by line, but this is just a high level overview of what Olympic Community of Health is if you're unfamiliar. And then we also have what Olympic Connect is. So, Olympic Connect is an initiative that OCH is spearheading. And so, this Olympic Connect is a community care hub or a community centered entity that supports a network of partners providing services and resources to address social needs. It centralizes administrative functions and infrastructure and has relationships with and understands the capacities of local organizations. And then we foster cross sector collaboration. So the community based workers that we're talking about, they facilitate the work through Olympic Connect. And so we're really trying to make sure that they have a lot of tools that they can use to support clients that are coming through our community care hub. In terms of the scope of work, we've got a couple of projects that we're looking to bring to life. And so anyone who's applying for wanting to be vendor for us, they can apply for one of these projects or more than one. So it can be as many as you like, or it can just be one. So whatever your expertise is in, that's where we're seeking support in. So below is a summary of available trainings, including a brief description, key deliverables, and then these trainings are intended for the CBWs across the Olympic region. We're mainly focused on Jefferson and Clallam County, but we will be inviting our KidSat partners to this. Contractors can expect up to 40 community-based workers. So right now it's really hard to gauge how many folks will be attending, but from my experience of who comes to our convenings, we can see anywhere between 30 to 40 community-based workers. Participants will bring a range of experiences supporting individuals and accessing care, and then OCH is available during the application process. So even though we're doing this an information session, if you have any follow-up questions, we're more than happy to chat with you and answer any questions you have. So the first project that we are seeking support on is job readiness coaching. So we're looking for a facilitator who can design and facilitate job readiness coaching for community-based workers that prepares them for Olympic Connect clients to meet the pay criteria. This training will focus on building foundational skills such as time management, goal setting, workplace expectations, and professional behavior. So our goal is to have the CBW be able to like support folks who are looking for job readiness and like coaching them to be successful applicants. I think it's important to call out the key deliverables training delivery and evaluation will be pretty similar for each training that we're looking for. Something that I would like to call out is that a lot of these trainings we're asking them to be in person. So every training outside of the financial literacy will be asked to be in person. The financial literacy, we are okay with it being either in person or virtual. The next project that we have a total of 4. So the second one is going to be financial literacy. So for this one, we're looking for a trainer that can help clients meet pay criteria and building skills related to budgeting, saving, debt management, and overall financial well-being as it relates to employment stability. So we have a lot of clients that are coming through our hub that are just needing a little bit of education on budgeting and how to talk about finances and things like that. So we want to build capacity around that. Um, and then our third training is resume development. So we are looking for a trainer to provide resume development trainings for CBWs so they can support Olympic Connect clients who meet the pay criteria to create or improve resumes that effectively highlight their skills, experiences, strengths for local careers. And then the last training that we're looking for is interview readiness. So deliver interview readiness trainings for CBW so they can support Olympic Connect clients who meet pay criteria to confidently navigate job interviews. This includes practicing common interview questions, developing strong responses, and building communication skills. For the key deliverables for this, we're looking for folks that can facilitate mock interviews and provide coaching and feedback. For all the trainings that we're looking for someone who has a strong experience with facilitating trainings. We're looking for we like to honor a lot of different adult learning styles. So folks that can train in different ways and not just like a lecture style. We're looking for a lot of interaction, a lot of hands-on experience, and that's partly why we're asking for the trainings to be in person. For the training and delivery of facilitation. So the facilitator will facilitate an interactive training. Like I mentioned, trainings will be offered in person for majority of these. The in-person session will be held in either Jefferson or Clallam County, and that will be determined based off of connecting with OCH as we plan for the training. The trainer will also assist with event setup and provide interactive facilitation tailored to the needs and strengths of community-based workers. And then we're asking for an evaluation piece as well. So we want to make sure that the trainer can evaluate the training effectiveness. We're asking that they collaborate with OCH to design, implement, and analyze attendee evaluations. We want to gather feedback on training impact and identify interests in training and future trainings. We would like folks to engage in post-training discussions with OCH to review insights and recommendations for future improvement, and then provide all training materials to OCH so they can be accessed by attendees and community-based workers after training. Eligibility to be a contractor. So organizations, tribes, or governmental entities in and outside of the Olympic region working to advance health through collaborative action are eligible to apply under this funding opportunity. Applicants must be in good financial standing and be an established legal entity. The role that OCH will play is we'll be arranging and paying separately for training venues, including necessary equipment like projectors, screens, things like that. We'll be coordinating food and refreshments. We'll manage event registration and participant communication. We'll be printing training materials, promoting the training sessions to the community-based workers, and then OCH will also be incorporating key questions into the registration process to gather insights for training. I think it's important to call out the compensation piece. So the contractor should provide an estimated cost for each training, which should cover all expenses, including preparation, travel, training materials, coordination with OCH, and facilitation. And then the contractor will submit a detailed invoice following each training for reimbursement. Budgets must be submitted via Microsoft Excel and clearly delineate costs by identified projects. I want to call out our timeline here. So our funding opportunity started April 9th and it will close on May 10th. So we'll stop accepting proposals May 10th. We're hosting this virtual session today, and after the session, I'll go ahead and release our FAQ. So this will be added to the FAQ. And so if you, anytime someone emails us and has questions, I'll pop those into the FAQ, and that's something that you can check in daily on. It'll be updated as we get questions. After we close accepting proposals on May 10th, from May 11th to May 21st, we'll be conducting proposal reviews and scoring, and this will be conducted between an OCH team member and 1 to 2 partners in our community. So we'll have a couple of people reviewing applications. We'll communicate our decisions by May 25th. So you'll hear from us whether we've decided to move forward with your application or if we feel like this might not be the right opportunity. So either way, you'll hear from us. And then we have a target start date of June 15th to start contracting. So that's when we anticipate that to happen. For those folks that are submitting applications for the proposal, so interested applicants will create a project proposal for each project of interest. Like I mentioned, this can be either one project or multiple, so it's up to you on what you decide to apply for. You'll just want to make it very clear on which projects you are applying for. Proposals should be submitted as a single PDF attachment and emailed to OCH. Proposals will align with scoring information below and will include relevant contact information. Applicants may provide additional supplemental information. And then OCH, like I mentioned, will conduct a technical review to ensure proposals include all required documents. So if you're curious on what elements will be we have a scoring rubric that we will be using to make sure that we're being equitable and very transparent and very consistent when it comes to scoring. So we've got a couple of elements. We've got, I think, 5. So we've got a qualification, approach and plan, collaboration, and budget. So these are the different categories that we will be taking into consideration when we're looking at reviews or looking at proposals. The first element is around qualifications. So, top candidates, what we're really looking for is relevant experience with delivering trainings to community based workers or similar audience. So, maybe you're not familiar with working with community based workers, but maybe you work with peer supports or something similar that work is applicable. The candidate would have a strong facilitation skill and experience leading group based learning. And then we're also looking for deep knowledge of the selected training topics with clear, accurate, and up to date information. So that is what we're looking for with qualifications. When we think about approach, we're looking for someone who can articulate a clear approach that translate complex concepts into practical, accessible content. So we're really looking for folks that can take these complex topics and really turn them into plain language for folks to make it really accessible. We're looking for interactive and engaging facilitation strategies. So, this could be discussion, role play, small group activities, just something that is more than just lecture style. And then strategies to create an inclusive, respectful, and participant centered learning environment. When we're reviewing applications and we're thinking about collaboration, we're looking for willingness to collaborate with OCH in planning and delivering and training, and then openness to feedback and ability to adapt content as needed. And then lastly, I think it's really important when we talk about budget, it should be clear, detailed, and reasonable budget aligned with proposed scope of work. Costs should reflect the level of effort, preparation, and delivery required, and there should be some transparency in how funds will be used. So I think that is like a high level overview of this. More information on our scope of work can be found on the OCH website. So olympicch.org/funding is where you can find the scope of work. It's got a nice little layout of when the funding opportunity ends, when we'll notify you of the outcomes of your application, and then yeah, just how we would like the application. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for now, and I'm happy to answer any questions that Stephanie might have.
I don't have any questions, Yvonne. Thank you. Great presentation, really informative, and something that I know I don't meet the qualifications for, but
Oh, okay.
really appreciated your time and letting me sit in today.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Stephanie. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be happy to help you if you have any other questions in the future.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Awesome. You too. Thanks.
Bye.